Hey guys, it's Maymay. This is our newest stamp set, our scripture set for this month. And lately when I show my samples in the reveal video, you guys always like to see the samples done. So what I thought I'd do today is take you on the journey of the sample creation. So I got this stamp set, and when we created it, we already have in mind some layouts that we think are really pretty. So I thought I would do two of those for you today, or two different styles of using this, and then show you how I do it. So in this video, it's 2 cards, 1 stamp set. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing I have done is I have cut for myself a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 cardstock. This is the way I'm going to lay my scene out for this particular card. And the first thing I want to do is stamp my church. I love this church. Look at it, how gorgeous it is. And I love how it is big. It is not little. For this particular one, I want to stamp it over to the side. I want my scene to come a little bit this way. So I'm going to do it here, and then I'm going to build my trees around it. So you see I have these smaller trees here, and then I have these larger trees, and then this filler tree. So I'm going to use tone on tone with this one. It's what I had in mind when we were making this set. That's kind of how this works. Like when we're designing, I'm like, oh, I can see it looking like this or see it looking like that. So I want to see this in tone on tone. So using craft colored cardstock, I'm also using acorn colored ink from Versaclear or Versafine. I always say Versaclear, from Versafine. And I think this will be gorgeous. So I'm going to start with my church in this area, and I'm lifting it up a little high because I want to have my path on, even if the path isn't the entire path, even if some of it hangs off of the cardstock, that'll be fine. And this area is where my sentiment will go. And I just think this is going to be so pretty. Look how gorgeous that little church is. So cute. Now what I'm going to do is stamp the scenery around it. I think I'm going to start with this one. Kind of go, trying to decide how low I want it to go. I can take it all the way down. I can even bring it over here and stamp it like this. And then I can bring the other scene. Let's lay it in. I can bring the other scene in here as if it were a hill. And then even come back with this guy and continue that out. I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so let's try that. So I'm going to ink this little guy up. And I'm really only needing one side of him. I'm going to bring my little surface protector over. This is just a laminated sheet of cardstock. It's perfect for this. And I'm going to let my little heel start here off of the church. Press that down like so. These trees, though, we're going to be able to do so much with these trees. I promise you're going to love those. And let's do the rest of our scene here. So pick up my little tree. I'm sorry if I'm like fast in this video. I'm super excited about this set. And whenever I get excited about something, I kind of get I can be a little obnoxious. Let's just be honest. I can be a little nerve-wracking. So I'm going to stamp this one here. I love when we get to see these come to life. That's a pretty significant hill under there, but it's fine. No big deal. Then I'm going to take this guy and finish that off. And one cool thing you can do. See how this tree has a little land there? You can always extend this out with the single tree and then use this one to the edge. Let me show you what I mean by that, because no sense in just telling you. Let me show you. So with this tree, if I need my scene wider, I can take it and I can stamp it right where this one lets off, if that makes sense. Lets off is probably very southern. So I've continued my heel. And remember, it's grass. It's organic. You're not looking for perfection here. And then I can take this little guy. Look at that. Isn't that so cute? I love it. Okay, then I want to use my little path at the bottom. These are going to be so fun to make scenes, and I want to do this church in like a snowy scene. That's my next trick. That's my next card. We'll get to that one in just a second. So when you're stamping the path, it's a little confusing because the way the path lays out. Let me put it over the white. You see the top, how the path has this flat area? That goes to the door. So the path does not come down at this angle. It literally curves like this. I wanted it to feel like it was kind of a hill, or you're having to travel to the little church. So that's why it's that way. So when you go to stamp it, you're going to put that edge of your path level with your doors. And then whatever you get here is your path. Are you kidding me? Is this the cutest scene ever? Are you kidding me? Okay, then let's see what else we can add. One of my favorite pieces. We weren't sure about this piece, but sometimes when we have places that we can fill in, we do. And this is a little lamppost. Let me get that little guy on a block. So my little lamppost is on my block, and I'm going to ink it up in the brown as well. I want everything to be tone on tone. And you can stamp this guy right here, or you can come down lower. I'll do him here. Do you see the little lamppost? And the fence piece. Let me show you this one. You also get this little wrought iron fence, which I just adore. We did this in such a way that you didn't have to do any masking. See how I've done this whole scene and I haven't had to mask? I don't enjoy masking. I will do it. And maybe one day I'll love it. But for now, it's not my favorite. So this little fence can now live on either side of the church. Do you see that? And I could even run it off the page if I wanted to. I'm just going to let it be like that as if it kind of goes back. Isn't it cute? Oh my goodness. So adorable. And now let's do our sentiment at the top. So I'm going to do gather together at the top. I think that'll be beautiful for this. And won't this be a pretty card to send if you have somebody you want to invite to church? Or maybe maybe someone has come to church and you want to remind them, hey, come back, come be with us, or we've missed you if somebody's been out. Wouldn't this be cute for that too? So there's gather. And now let's do the word together. And we're just using one color ink. Isn't this easy and beautiful? I like simple. I know you guys do too, because when I do a video that I feel is simple, you guys tend to really gravitate to those videos because you, like me, don't have a lot of time. Look what I did. After all that, I rocked it. We're going to see if we can fix it. And you know it's me because look, the ink is still on there. So I'm going to ink that back up just a little bit at the top. I'm going to take my glasses off and we're going to try. Let's see if we can do this together. All right, hold your mouths right. No, I did not. So after doing all that stamping, I messed up together and it made me very sad. I tried to fix it and it didn't work. So I've got us back to the same stamping part on the other side. And now we're going to stamp together down and do it right. I told y'all, I get excited. So I tend to rock my stamps when I get excited, which means I don't actually lay them down flat. I kind of only lay down one side and it kind of messes me up. But you know what? I bet y'all do it too. So you'll understand how sad that made me. So this time we're not going to rock it. We're going to sit it down. We're going to make sure we cover every bit of it. Much better. Much better. So now, even though the back side looks rough, this side looks great. The other thing I wanted to do was do a little distress inking on this one because I think it'll really bring this guy together. So I'm going to use some vintage photo here. Ink this guy up. And then I'm just going to run this around the edge. And it can be as heavy or as light as you want. What happens when we do this, especially in tone on tone, we're going to be creating light in the middle of the page. So you can see how that light is starting to show. That's what we're trying to do by doing these edges. A lot of you guys say to me, my cards don't ever look quite professional or quite finished. This is a great way for all of your cards to have a very finished, professional look because most people wouldn't realize, oh, you did that gradient on the edge of that card. They see it and they think, oh, this is a store-bought card. But when we can do something like this to add that extra touch, this is one of those things that really elevate your cards. So see how that just created light and brought it all together? Doesn't this look like a vintage card? I love this. Let's finish assembling. So I've decided to bring a little bit of white in. I love white on craft. And so anywhere I can add some kind of solid white, I'm going to do that. So like here, I'm going to add a little white just to help it pop even more. You'll be surprised how much this will elevate the card and the look. So it won't really look like snow because I'm not going for, a winter scene, but see how that just pops? So anytime I do tone on tone, especially craft on craft or brown on craft, I love to bring in a little white. So just anywhere I can see that I can add little touches, that's what I'm going to do. This pen I'm using is my Jelly Roll pen. This is the point, not the point, but the 05. They come in a 3-pack, and I really like that because I can pick the nib that I want. Like when I'm doing these smaller spaces, I'm not, I don't have just one pen. I have some to choose from, and I really like that. Look how sharp that looks, how it just pops. Let's come in here and do this. And even though some of the areas are closed in, I can still trace around with my white pen and give it that look of it being open and colored. I think I want to add a little white to the top to help the cross to pop and to pull some of the white up. So I'm just drawing right inside the line. And I could find all kinds of places to do this, but isn't that cute? It's just a little touch that really makes a difference. So I decided to put a little foam tape on this one and pop it up on my card base. And I'm going to use that gingham, the brown gingham from the Dots and Stripes gingham collection. I'm going to put it here. I'm going to check both sides and see how I'm doing. Try to line that up fairly evenly. That's cute. That's a cute frame on there. I'm working very dark with this card, but I like it. I'm also going to use one of our pre-made card and envelopes. I really think this is cool to have these pre-made at your hands. So I'm just going to fold this down and crease it. And then I think I'll stamp on the envelope too. I think it'll be cute. So let's glue this guy down. Just using some art glitter glue here. And this is going to cover my whole card base, but I think it'll be cute. I think it will be worth it. All right, let's stand that up and get that all on there nice and even. Isn't that something? And then on the inside, I want to stamp the scripture. You know, we could have done this before we put it together, and Mike should have, but I'm going to do it now. So using that same acorn ink and the little scripture, I'm going to put it right down here in the bottom corner, and then you have plenty of room to write a note to someone, and it has that little scripture on the inside. I love that. Now, let's do something to the envelope. I think it'll be cute. So make sure you got your envelope laid correctly. There's my flap, so there's the top of my envelope. I got a little something on there. Let's use the mono sand and get that off of there. Okay. Let's do the trees on here. I think they'll be pretty. So let's start with the bigger scene of the trees. Let's do that down here. Pretty. Then I just think this will be pretty. I'm going to do the word gather in between. I just think that's pretty down there. So then we have our card and our envelope matching. Isn't that cool? I love how that looks together. I got more ink on my envelope. Look at my hands. I'm not being very careful today. I'm too excited and I just like stamping. Let me get that off of there as well. Don't we all have those days? Today I'm having that day. There we go. Got it off. And there we go. Look how pretty that is together, the card and the envelope. I love how that turned out. Now let's do it in a winter scene. Let me go wash my hands first. So for our winter scene, I'm starting with a piece that is from the new Simple Stories collection. That is called Winter Farmhouse. We just got it in and I had this on my desk and I love this kind of creamy blue. Can you see that the snowflakes are not white? They're creamy. I thought this would be cute. So I'm going to try something. We'll just see how it goes. Let's film it, right? Why not? Okay, I'm going to go back to the church. And I'm going to do a pretty similar scene that I just did, but this time I'm going to do it on colored paper, and I'm going to use the VersaFine color Morning Mist. This is a beautiful gray, and I don't use it enough. And I did a little test to make sure this color would show up, and it does. And I want this scene to feel soft and not overly, not black. So maybe let's build our scene to this side this time, since we did it the other way on the other one. Stamp this guy down. Make sure we get a good impression. Look how pretty that soft gray. I love that on there. And now what I want to do is do my trees, because once I get my trees done, I'm going to come in and cut a piece of snow to sit on the bottom. I'll show you what my plan is for that. So let me do the trees real quick. So I want these trees this time to stay level with my ground. I'm not going to go up on the side of the church with these. The reason is I want to cut this into white. Does that make sense? So I'm leaving them right even with the church there so that I can get a good even snowflake cut and I won't have to do much fussy cutting around the church. So let's do this big tree to the side, and this might be all I need to do over here. It is. So this will finish this side out. Isn't that gorgeous? I think I'm going to ink just that little edge a tiny bit and touch it right here to make sure it continues all the way. There we go. So now our land or our ground wouldn't matter because I'd cover it up in a second anyway. Now let's go to our bigger trees. When I say bigger, our bigger grouping of trees. Okay, and this guy's going to come right over here and finish this little bank off. I didn't put my surface protector behind it. Look how gorgeous this is. I cannot get over the stamp set. All right. I'm not going to do my path just yet. I want to cut this first. So I think what I'll do, rather than cut a piece of white, I think I'll mount this onto white and fussy cut this hill out. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut where this hill is, and then I'll mount this to a piece of white, and we'll get the look we're looking for. So you see how we've got that bottom cut. Now let's get a piece of white, or maybe cream. I got an idea. Another one of those card bases. They're already done for us, and they're cream already. So let's fold this over and crease it. Y'all know what? I've got ink on my work surface. I'm hoping I'm not picking it up. Let me look and see if I did. No, we're safe. Let me wipe my work surface off. I can see some right here. Then if this were to mount here, does that feel like snow? Not to me. Sort of. It's not bad. It's not bad. Do I like it like this or do I want it to be white? I think I want white. Well, to be honest with you, I think the cream works better because the snowflakes are cream and this makes them really cream. So we're going back to the cream card base. That's how we do, right? We place it and we look. This looks really cool to me and it does give the look of snow at the bottom and it makes our scene sit so pretty. And we might even can stamp here our sentiment down into the snow. So let me decide, do I want to glue this straight down? I think I do. I think I do. So I feel like if I were to pop it up, it would make the snow not look like snow because we're using that creamy color. So I'm going to glue it straight down so that it will look like one piece. And I'm going to come to the side so I can line this up good. And I really only have to worry about the top and the sides because the bottom is going to do its own thing. There we go. That's really pretty. I like that. Let's get our white pen. We got to do that. Let's add some snowfall onto our church. The good thing is this. My pen is going to pick up some of the colors behind and the ink is going to help. You could totally do this with your snow marker or your snow writer, but I think this is going to give me the color that I'm looking for on the church without making it too stark white. So snow on our building here. And let's go to this side and do some snow. I actually don't like the way this side looks. I'm going to see if I can get that off of there. You guys, that's taking that right off. It's not messing up my church. And now I can do the snow like I did the other side. I liked it better. So on this side, I just kind of nestled the shingles of the roof. If your pen ever stops writing, do this on your finger. You can get it started. Something about the heat of your finger and your fingerprints gets that going. And I think I may have a little smudge on this side from my eraser because it's working fine on my finger. But it's not wanting to do. There it goes. So I just followed the shingles out on that side. Let's put some here because I think it would land in this area as well. And maybe on the peaks of the windows. I think some in the bushes. And I'm going to run through the trees and just add a little white to the trees. It just really does dress it up. So I added some white to the trees. Now I want to stamp my path coming from the church. I'm just going to put that onto a block real quick. And I'm going to stamp it in that same gray ink. And it's probably going to be a little starker because the other one's done on blue, but I think this will be cute. Oh, yeah, it needed that. Then I'm going to put some snow on the path as well. I think I'm going to put some shimmer on this. Maybe just some crystal glaze in the windows. I think that'll be pretty and kind of look icy. So let's ice up these windows. And I think I'm just going to do some drops as if it was snow here and there. Not very big drops, trying to keep them little. Sometimes you want to stand this guy up and let that go back down so that you don't get too big of a drop. I'm going to do these dots everywhere because the snow would fall everywhere. So these little icy drops are everywhere. So see the little icy drops? I think that is so cute. What a difference. I didn't do a sentiment. Oh, well. I still could. I can come back and add one to it, but I don't think I'm going to. I think it is so cute just like that. So let's compare those two. So my winter scene and my fall scene. Isn't that pretty? I love how these cards turned out. I wanted to take you on that journey of creating those samples and show you how I did that and give you an idea for when you get your stamp set is. Don't forget, guys, whenever you sign up for our stamp club, there's lots of perks that you receive, but also we have a contest every month for anyone who uses this set and uploads a picture onto our customer gallery of using the set in any way. Use it for cards or bookmarks or place cards or scrapbooking, who knows. All you do is make your project and load your photo to our customer gallery and you are entered to win a $50 gift card to our store. So be sure to do that. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you'd like to join our stamp club so you get these stamps first, the information for that is in the description below. I hope you enjoyed these, guys. These are our stamps are always available for you anyway after the fact, even if you're not in the club. So you can still pick up this little church set. I absolutely adore it. I think I'm going to use it a lot. I can still think of lots of things I would like to do with this little church. Can you imagine like an easel card or a box card, have him in the middle? So many ways. Hey, thanks so much for watching, guys. Talk to you again next time. Bye-bye.